And welcome back to Block TV. Time for Crypto Globe, where we give blockchain and cryptocurrency news an international flavor, or twist, if you may. And today we're going to visit the African continent and a state, or maybe a wannabe state, that you've likely never heard of, Ambazonia. And to tell us more about this breakaway region in Cameroon, we're joined in studio by our very own Yona Hochhauser. Yona, what is this all about?
Thank you, Yael. Although you might never have heard of Ambazonia, it is a country in Africa vying for its independence through the use of a cryptocurrency. Let's watch. ICOs, the fundraising mechanism that EOS, Telegram, Simmer Labs, and even terrorist actors such as Iran and Hamas have turned to raise capital. Now, an African separatist movement from the English-speaking region of Cameroon is looking into cryptocurrencies to fund their attempt at independence.
AmbaCoin is a cryptocurrency created by the Ambazonian people to free themselves from political and economic marginalization by the Republic du Cameroon. So we created this currency to try to fight against these marginalizations that we have at the moment. If we have investors who come in and help us, we can build our political and economic system, and we can have total control of these resources. And with the AmbaCoin and the currency that we have, if we go to the negotiations table, we are making ourselves a contender because we have our currency, have the economic independence that we have been looking for with the AmbaCoin.
Ambazonia encompasses the territory formerly known as the British Southern Cameroons. In 1961, Britain granted its colony independence, but the UN decided that they weren't economically stable enough to sustain themselves and forced them to incorporate into the existing French Cameroon government. Since then, the South Cameroons have faced political discrimination and forced assimilation by the Cameroonian government. The Ambazonians claim that this forced incorporation was illegal, illegitimate, and is fighting for its independence. The group has launched its own cryptocurrency called AmbaCoin as a sort of protest coin to draw both attention, support, and funds to their plight. I recently sat down with AmbaCoin spokesman Breakaway Lang to discuss their fight for independence and how they plan to use the coin to help their struggle.
Resolution 1608 of the United Nations gave us the independence. By then we were called Southern Cameroons, the territory. But the application of these laws were not put into place. So we don't know whether it is an international conspiracy or what, we don't know. But we are going to force the international community to look into our plight. One of the ways we are trying to do this is if people with the blockchain technology, if people can get one Amba token at the moment, we'll use it as a protest coin. If just say 20 million people in the world get it, we can use the spread chart and say communities of people in the world have acknowledged the territory of Ambazonia. Right. So these people are the ones voting for you. These people are the ones who are sending you to the United Nations. So now you have to listen to the decisions of the people of this world. So doing the spread chart, we show them that the world has accepted Ambazonia. So you have to right the wrongs of the past.
Well, you know, that's fascinating stuff. And, you know, Ambazonia, nobody's heard of it. But when it comes to, you know, trying for their own cryptocurrency, are they really that progressive on financial issues?
Well, I mean, definitely they are. I haven't heard of any other African countries trying to fight for their independence using cryptocurrencies. And we've seen, like I said, Hamas, you know, and everyone from EOS. I mean, there are legitimate organizations using ICOs to raise money, as well as, you know, kind of nefarious actors using ICOs. And so I sat down with the Ambazonian spokesperson Breakaway Lang to speak about AmbaCoin, and he told me that he hopes that the funds that result from the sale will provide them with economic freedom to start their nation. He views this as a sort of crowdsourcing for independence. Let's watch.
In the AmbaCoin, what we're going to do is what the fundings we get, we are going to use it for refugees and for building a good society. There are so many ways to bring down a country, not only through arms. The Soviet Union was brought down not with arms. They had all the sophisticated intercontinental ballistic missiles. They were brought down through economic strategies. And we are going to use that with the AmbaCoin is going to use that against La République du Cameroon. That's our major factor.
Yona, I mean, Burkhard clearly, passionate, talks about the need for it. Any country vying for independence would say that. What are the pits and falls here? Because it's never that straightforward.
Right. I mean, like with any ICO, I mean, we've seen in the past, a lot of ICOs don't end up doing what they promise. And it might be the same case here. I mean, upon further questioning Burkhard, he did admit that the peaceful Amazonians, they've kind of lost their patience, and they're willing now to use a little bit more force to take back what they view as rightfully theirs. Let's watch.
Moshe Dayan once said, freedom is the oxygen to the soul. We really need this freedom. You understand? So we are going to get it every means possible. We are going to get the freedom. We're going to send out the occupier from our territory. We have been waiting. We have been a peaceful people for 58 years, but now we're going to take back our territory.
John, the concerning things apropos Africa, when you hear somebody vying for freedom, you also can't let go of the fact that it's such a bloody continent. It's the post-colonial wars that we've been seeing there. And when he says by any means possible, what does that mean?
Right. I mean, as a lot of us know, in Africa, there's been kind of a whole left after post-colonialism that's really left for a fight over the natural resources. And so when I asked him for, any videos or pictures he might have of Amazonia, what he sent me back kind of shocked me. It started off innocently enough with a video of a group of ragtag armed men singing their national anthem. Let's take a listen.
Amazonia, land of freedom, we shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And what children shall be largest as above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Amazonia, rise and never to fall. Amazonia, rise and never to fall. Amazonia, rise and never to fall. May God be our helper.
Okay, you want to help me out here? What did they end with? Amba forever?
Yeah, Amazonia forever. I mean, one could even be disarmed by their clear knocking off of Marvel's Black Panther's Wakanda Forever chant. But
look, I mean, it's good marketing. Okay, in a way.
It's so hot right now. But then things started to get a little bit more sinister. He sent me photos of kid soldiers, videos of dead bodies, and all this with no explanation, and lots of guns. This was really looking far from his original plea for a peaceful protest. Let's watch what he sent us.
Yes, this is the commander, General Shaomao of Ngokutunja, ARF, the mountain tiger of Babawan. Yes, there will be no election in Ngokutunja. We have mounted the barricade, and there will be no intruders in Ngokutunja, and there will be no foreigners in our land. So you can see, this is the soldiers of revolution.
Anyhow, we carry come out. No be so. No be so. That's so. That's so. All for one. All for one. One for all. One for all. Yes.
John, I have to say, I mean, it's tragic. It's really tragic, and when it gives you Africa to the face, so to speak, where children are soldiers from the moment that they're 14, but let's face it, we've heard the chant there going, there will be no elections, so clearly Amazonia is not going to be a democracy. There'll be no elections and no foreigners. What's your takeaway from all of this?
Well, I mean, when they're saying there'll be no elections, what they were more referring to is the fact that when they first were given independence and then incorporated into French Cameroon, they were supposed to be, be their own kind of incorporation there with electoral power and whatnot. And since then, that's slowly been taken away from them.
They want an independent economy.
Yeah,
right.
Well, they want to be an independent nation, breaking away from French Cameroon. They want to be Amazonia, more like the English South Cameroon that they originally were as part of Britain. And they look willing to take it by force. I mean, these images that he sent me, they simply don't match with the kind words he showed me in our talk. I mean, the impression I was left with after our talk was this gregarious man, quick to laughter, who simply had high hopes for his coin and his people. Let's watch.
If it goes to the moon, then Amazonians will have Lambos.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, gregarious, smiling, of course, wants his independence. We can't let go of the fact that it comes with children bearing guns, which is horrifying. But fascinating. Do they stand a chance, seriously?
Well,
on the financial side, on this coin.
Well, yes. I mean, if the coin actually does get support, which remains to be seen. So far, they sold about 30,000 AMBA coins since I spoke to him. But I mean, whether AMBA coin goes to the moon and whether the Amazonians get their country and their Lambos, that simply remains to be seen. What I do know is a lesson that we all should have learned a long time ago: that ICOs aren't always what they seem. So let's see how it plays out.
Now, Yona, very, very rightfully, very well said. Thank you for that. We, of course, will be right back. And needless to say, that is it for now. But you, don't forget to look up BLOCKTV on social media. Leave comments for us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram. We want to hear you, and we will be right back.